Is my audio back? I don't get this. Something keeps happening in my OBS and it's resetting my microphones. Good morning! My name is Jeff Fritz. Welcome back to my live stream. It's August 3rd, 2018. It's a Friday, and we're going to be writing some code together today. Hello there, everybody. Yes, OBS audio controls. That's right, Nick's Mad Science. They like to change, even though you've got them hard-coded to a specific device. That's not awkward or anything. So let's get some music playing here in the background before I start talking about what we're going to be doing here today. I'm going to go and we're going to play some music to code by, right? This is music that's been engineered to get you in the groove, right? They've done studies to get you in the flow where everything kind of fades away and you can get hyper-focused on whatever task it is that you're working on. So this is a series of songs written by our friend Carl Franklin that gets you in that groove. Today I think we're going to play Yellow. Very groovy music. And of course, you can always check this out at... No, it's not procedurally generated, actually. It's engineered, and then he wrote the songs and performed all of them. So, yeah. So check it out at musictoflowby.com. You can get the app, and that'll get you cool new songs each month, that each month you subscribe. Or you can buy the entire album from mtcb.pwop.com. Thanks so much, Carl, for letting us use your music here on the stream. Look at all these auto hosts coming through. Good morning, good morning. Wow, we got some new friends here in the chat room. President Not Sure, Ancient Coder, John Dre Loon, Nick's Mad Science, Niflix is here from Germany. Very cool. Brave Cobra, hey there. S&B is here. And thank you, all of our hosters. Jeffrey Huntley, LM Orchard, Dev Chatter. Awesome, awesome stuff. Thank you so much. And is that Eckard? Hello, good morning. I'm not going to be doing F# today. We're setting up for a workshop next week. This is going to be a Xamarin Build Your First Android app with C#, using Visual Studio Community and the Xamarin tools. So we expect to be running that all day next Friday. So I didn't want to get in and get back into an F# project when we're just going to step away for a week for another workshop. 2 weeks after that. So that's the 10th we're going to be doing the workshop. The following week we should be going normally. But the week of the 20th, I will probably not... I will not be streaming. I have surgery that week, and doctor's orders. I need to be on rest, so we will be taking some time. Is that the Heil mic? No, Nick's Mad Science. This is a Rode Podcaster. This is the same microphone that our friend Ellieface uses from the PH16 group, a group of Philadelphia podcasters and streamers. And, of course, you can check out Ellieface is her name, ELLI Face. You can find her on Twitch, playing all kinds of games. This is Cute August month, playing all kinds of cute games. Any plans to bring back Julie Lerman? The question is working out a schedule with Julie. Thanks, Nick, for the mention there for Ellie. So I need to work that out. I would love to have Julie back. I think we're getting into some interesting places with our core wiki project where bringing Julie back and talking directly about what's going on in there, reflecting on what she taught us during the architecture workshop, would be really valuable. I do have a number of other folks that we want to line up and have join us for a stream coming up here. I actually have a list. I have some Microsoft folks. We had Ryan Loudermunkle on Tuesday join us. Glenn Block is very interested in joining us to talk further about some of our API design. So that should be coming up soon. Iris Klassen will be rejoining us. Dan Wallin is also in the list here for me to follow up with schedule, and he's very interested in joining us. Brad Wilson from X Unit is going to be joining us here, but I need to get folks scheduled, make sure I work out the appropriate time here, because doing stuff live makes it a little bit trickier than just recording a podcast. Just to plug, Dev Chatter is running a series called Solid Saturdays from mid-August. Oh, that's cool. All right. Let's see here. I'm making a game in Unity, and I was wondering if you have any tips on getting some people, like streamers or YouTubers, playing my game. I don't have any tips for getting folks to play your game. So you can send out invites, you can ask them, you know, give them free licenses to play for a certain amount of time, but getting folks to play your game on stream, it's tricky to do, because some of these folks have tight relationships with the big game companies. So you're not going to get a ninja playing your game just by reaching out to him and saying, "Hey, I'm independent so and so." He's got a relationship with Epic. He's got a relationship with the PUBG folks. So they really want them playing those games. John Unit F. Berg says, "I like that Dan Walling." Yes, I do too. Dan's a good friend. And we're going to try having him on to talk a little bit on the stream. So, I wanted to go back and talk a little bit further about the code that we started writing with Ryan on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, and you're welcome to go and see exactly everything that came up that led to this. We worked with Ryan Loudermilk around this concept of building a simple script, a Grease Monkey script, that allows us to modify the way that our browser works, so that from Twitter we could generate a private list that has everybody that some other Twitter account that we're interested in follows. This way, we could effectively see the world the way that they see the world from Twitter. Now, it's an interesting idea, and it should be pretty straightforward to do. We're putting a link on the Twitter page that's specific only to us. We're the only ones that see it. But we're going to bounce off of some sort of a website somewhere that actually does the work to sign in to Twitter and grab that collection of lists, that collection of folks that account follows, and build a list. And we ran into a little bit of an issue around authentication and passing around some of the Twitter authentication. So we started looking at, I opened up an issue over here in GitHub to track it. We need to grab the OAuth user and secret tokens at login, and we're using this library, the TweetEnvy library. And there were some examples out there for it, and some of the folks who were watching during that stream chimed in and, like good pair programmers, said, well, looks like we have some things here we can work with. And Andre specifically said, oh, here's a way that I figured out to grab the access tokens when creating ticket. But adding those as a claim wasn't quite working properly for Andre. And Parathon jumped on after that and said, here's how we can save the authentication tokens in the external login page. You need to fire update external authentication tokens async. That is a really long name for a method. Wow. Okay. You're not gonna fit that on a Scrabble board. So once you do that, on the actual page where we need access to those tokens, you can run through the user manager, get the user, and get those authentication tokens appropriately. And you'll be able then to pass them along. So it looks like that's going to be the way to approach this. Glad we're back on Twitter today, says Aaron. Yeah, okay. Warden Official says, I was not expecting people like Ninja, but thanks anyway. Yeah, and I'm only using Ninja as an example because when folks think about Twitch and people playing games on Twitch, it's Ninja, it's Dr. Disrespect, it's these huge names that nobody's ever going to get, you know, because they've got relationships with those AAA titles. However, you might be able to find some folks in smaller games, smaller folks that call themselves small streamers that have 5,000 or less followers that might be a little bit more interested in working with you. So our friend LAFace is always looking for independent games to play and get involved with. But there's all kinds of people in these little communities that, like I said, about 5,000 followers they top out at, that might be interested in checking it out. I was not expecting people like Ninja. Okay. Hola, is that Fakurod6? Joker CRTV, good morning. Any comment on why the Visual Studio team is installing the JDK as part of the latest update? The Visual Studio team? Installing the JDK? That's news to me. The JDK gets installed as part of the Android tools, if you need that. What's new in 1576? Might be cross-platform. Doubt that. Let's look at the documentation that Ashley has here. This release now installs the JDK. It's got to be optional. It's got to be part of some workload if you choose to install Java tools. Yeah, with Android tools. That's what I was thinking, Cryptrix. Yeah. I think they have it in the wrong location. Right? For the what's new in this, you know, if they were to put, you know, at the end of this as part of the Android tools workload, that would make more sense. I completely see where you're going, Ashley, that this reads like it's installing this for everybody. Which I don't think is the case at all here. Feedback. Is there comments here? No. Report a problem option? No. Track your issue? No. Live chat support? Here's what I'm going to do. Tweet. Let's start here. No, you know what? I'm going to take this internally to someone. Because you're right, that does read strange. So I'm going to open a notepad here. Reads like everyone is getting the JDK installed. That's good feedback. Thank you, Ashley. Because that is not the intent. So I'm going to go back to our code, and I want to focus on this bit here so that we can finish grabbing all of our authentication pieces from Twitter so we can start building that list and then populating it appropriately. I'll test it on this machine and report back. I don't have Android tools. Yeah, I can't imagine that it would do that. The download was really small and done quickly. I think JDK would have taken longer. Yes, oh yes, JDK would take you much longer. It's a couple hundred meg, I think. Alright, let's go over to the code. I like being down here in the corner with my green screen. Yeah, alright. Do my thing in the corner. Looking good, feeling good. Download was around 65 meg. Which download? The updates or the JDK? I thought the JDK was bigger. Today's update, yeah, okay. I haven't installed the update because I actually have previews installed, and I live dangerously like that. I need like a. There we go. Yes, I do live dangerously like that. All right. I broke up all my sound effects here. Now they're on several different pages. And it's like, I need to go digging to find them. Because I've got so many of them. Like, you can only fit 14 on the Stream Deck. Because you have the top corner is to navigate between menus. So now I've got 3 pages, and I have to bounce through them to find. It is only in the mobile development workload. Okay. So, this was the application that we started writing to get folks to log in so that we could go and build that Twitter list for folks. And this is on the external login on get callback async. So external login is this page right here. Right here. And the method on get callback async, right? This is the method that gets called when that callback happens, right? So Twitter's posting information into our website. We now need to do something with it. So what Parathon is saying is sign in manager get external login info. If info equals null, blah, blah, blah. And then await sign in manager update external authentication. Oh, dear Lord. What? So that's what we need. External login sign in async. All right, so it's signed in. So, right, so if results succeeded, so if we are signed in, I think we want to do it in this block up in here. I don't care about the post. All right. So I'm going to copy this. And right in here, after the login, I'm going to paste that. What do we got here? So we've double created info. Well, that's not right. Let's call this external login info. I think that works. So now I can take this, check here. We shouldn't get this because we just logged in asynchronously. Right, this is returning a sign-in result. This is returning external login info, which actually is, that info object is it. Login provider key. The info was already retrieved a dozen or so lines up. Get external login info. Yeah. So we don't need those. It's this line that we need. Alright, add this line of code which saves the tokens to the database. So that should do the trick. Thank you, Aaron and Cincy. Big points to you. Okay, so now we've got the login information from Twitter, and we've updated our user with that information. So now what Parathon is saying is you would access the saved tokens in the page, inject the user manager, and use this little bit of code to get that token information. So I'm going to grab this, go back over to our one page that we have, our index page, and in our constructor, I'm fetching iHTTP client factory. I think we're going to end up removing this in favor of that Twitter API. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and remove it now anyway, because I can. And it was a user manager that I'm going to be grabbing for identity user. And we'll just call that user manager. And we will say user manager equals user manager. So we have a copy of it locally, right? Generate read-only field. Good. All right. first thing I want to do is I want to write a method. I'm going to just copy this in as another method on my page here. So let's make this, I'm going to make it a private method. I'm returning 2 strings. I'm going to return that as a value tuple. Get Twitter auth keys. Okay. Yeah, I know it doesn't return a value. Alright, and it wants it to be do that. Keeps everybody happy. And now we're going to return access rats. They're inside the if statement. Can I? No. I'd really like to get the ability to refactor and split that var. You can use named tuples. Yeah, all right. Right, or is it the other way around? I think I have those backwards. Right, is it like that? Karnak. Yes, we need to turn on Karnak. Good point. What the hell is that? I always forget named value tuples, how these get formatted, because all I got is a bunch of red lines there in Visual Studio. Don't need the colons. Sure I do. Sure I do. I had it right. I had it right the other way. Explicit field 1. Yeah, I had it right the other way. Same as variable declarations. None of these are... Okay. Not a fan of how this one is structured. There, like this. But it doesn't tell me how to declare it as an output type. So I did want it the other way. T. Thompson, thank you for the follow. We are working on that Rainbow Beard Challenge. You can see the meter here next to me, 3078. We need to get to 5,000 by October 20, and we're going rainbow down here. Colon syntax is when assigning, not declaring. Don't I have to declare the type? I thought I had to declare the type. And none of... I don't see that here anywhere when we're declaring a return type. Right? That I get. Right? I can do this. Right? And that works. No problem. But how do I put the names on those? String access token. That syntax is nowhere on this page. There. I'm 3/4 of the way down the page and it finally shows that syntax. Yeah. All right. So now I should be able Alright, so I have the Twitter ID is the ID that we're fetching here. I don't need that. This, that was kind of how we were trying to get it. Bug found. Nice. Colon syntax is when assigning. October 2019. No S&B this year. Alright. Let's go... Where was I? So the library that I grabbed is this one. Tweet Envy, because it's compatible with Visual Studio... not Visual Studio. .NET Core. And there were some nice methods in here for fetching friends lists and also creating lists. So friendships, I believe, is where this was. Get friends. So user, get user from screen name, and then user get friends, and then what's the user identifier? Get the first 5,000 friends IDs of the user. That's what I want right there. What are we building today? I missed a couple of episodes due to obligated vacation. I wish I had obligated vacation. What we're building is the ability for us, using a Grease Monkey script, to go into somebody's account and say, you know what, I want to see who Franz is following, and be able to click this Get Private List and have it. I have it going to Bing right now, but have it route to a website where it'll actually assemble a private list with all of that person's all of the people that person follows, so then we can kind of see the world the way they do. I never got the named tuple stuff. Why not go directly to records? I see it as a way to prototype. Once you get beyond 2 or 3 items in a value tuple, I agree, go to a class at that point. So, alright. I need to get those Twitter auth keys here. So, var auth keys equals get Twitter auth keys. So now this is the value tuple. I'm going to await this. Okay, so now I have access token and access token secret. Good. Yeah, you want to go to a record type. Different. Welsh Ronaldo, good morning. Alright. So I need to... Right. He's jumped right in here in this code. Right. I mean, he's gone right past. Let's set up auth set user credentials. Once again, where's auth come from? Yeah, let's back up a little bit. How do I get your root object here? Auth set user credentials. That's what it's saying to do. Okay, auth is an object. My consumer key, my consumer secret, my access token, and my access secret. So my access token, these last 2 are what I just got here. These first 2 are the normal keys that I have set right here. So I'm just going to, I should be able to grab configuration directly over here. I'm going to grab that first. Yeah, I want to use iConfiguration. All right. So now I have that, and I can just grab these. All right. First credential is the consumer key, which is that. Ah, come on. There we go. Next one is... Yeah, I know that covers up the screen a bit, doesn't it? Go away, Karnak. Thank you. User access token, that's under auth keys. Access token. And then the secret is going to be auth keys. Access token secret. Okay, so we've set the user credentials. I need to do some more reading about records. I saw they were coming, but didn't really dig in beyond that. Alright. Next. So user, I can say user get authenticated user, and it will give me who that user is. And then I should be able to go grab friends. There we go. Get user from screen name. That's what we want. And the screen name that we're going to be pulling is ID. Get user from screen name. Wrong one. This user that it wants is some sort of internal... Yeah, we're going to run in... Look at this. We're running into a namespace collision. Yeah. F# Friday will be coming back later this month. Like I said, I've got some medical things we got to take care of, and I didn't want to jump in and not commit to be doing it for several weeks in a row. And I also want to hammer out some of the problems that we were having first. Why am I not getting that user object? Yeah, this... Looks like I need to bring that in. I already did, but it doesn't have user. Let's see if we can fully qualify this. Yeah. I'm going to fully qualify that because it's... My gosh. Really confusing in the middle of an ASP.NET page. So we already have credentials. So was it get authenticated user? What was it? We were get user from screen name. Right, and this is where we want to get the ID of the person. I think we also want to get the current user who's logged in. Current Twitter user equals, because that's who we're going to be creating this list for. Get authenticated user. Okay. So now I have that other person's Twitter account. I have that person. Now I want to get their friends, right? Their friends are going to be get friends. Well, we can actually just get them directly. Let's do that. Skip a step here. Right? Users, friends. Good afternoon, ThinkBot Labs. We made it to Friday. Don't they have async supported API calls in that Twitter library? I don't see it. And it could be an issue. Because I don't see them in here. I'm not worried about it yet, but I definitely see your question there, bug found, and I would even lean towards doing doing my own queries against the HTTP endpoint if this becomes an issue. What exactly is an ID? I just saw a method get user from ID. Oh, so what this method is going to do is we're going to pass into it on the query string the Twitter account ID of whoever it is that we're looking up. So we would pass in $ID equals C#Fritz if we wanted to go find my account and the folks that I follow and create a list from them. Now this is all public information. We could always wrap the sync calls in a task run, right? Oh, come on, dude. Not quite the same. Because these HTTP client calls are still going to be just hanging out there. So, Vassalware, thank you so much for the follow. Alright, I'm sorry. Don't want to be picky, but maybe making that string into a Twitter ID type. No, not going to go that far. Overloading string as a type that does exactly the same thing. Don't need to go that far. I tell you what I will do. We can change this to... No, I need it to be ID. Right, so that I get that match. Isn't there a hint from query? Yeah, there we go. I can do that, and then I can rename this to Twitter ID. How's that? Is that a little bit clearer? And this should be name equals. Thank you. So I think that makes it a little bit clearer. Okay. So now we've gotten the friends, and I don't need to do this. Now, get friends gets all the friends? That retrieving all the friends of a user might take a lot of time. Consider using threads or async tasks. I need crickets. You don't have async methods. Am I right here? Tweet env user get friends. It's not async. Okay. So we've got the user's friends. So on the current Twitter user, which is the person who's logged in, we want to create a list. Now I'm going to see if there's a... Oh dear Lord, get? No, I don't see anything there. What's that? Users, friendships, timelines. Where's lists? Twitter lists. Here we go. Create a list. Oh, are you kidding? Twitter list, get existing list. Okay. So if I say Twitter list async, now we're talking. Don't tell me there's a user async. There is. Wow. One second here. Okay, that was unexpected. I did say, so Twitter list, get existing list, but Twitter list, create list, but there's... Take a look at this for a second. So there's user async. Twitter list async. They've put all their async methods on a different class that has the exact same name but has async on the end, and then the methods that are inside there are async. that's the design decision that these folks made. I could see doing that if you've evolved your API in a way that before async and await you had one set of classes, and after async and await was introduced, you want to introduce those features, but you don't want to rewrite everything and be concerned with breaking your existing APIs. So just copy, create a new class, and update it with the async and await features in that new class. I can see that. But I could also see in that you could make that second class, don't make it a second class, make them both partial classes with all the async features in the one file and all the sync features in the other file, so that for the purposes of maintaining and growing the async features without inadvertently touching and breaking the synchronous features, it's in two different files. And yes, these folks love their statics. So I see reasons why you may want to do this. I may disagree with them, but I see reasoning why you would want to do this API. So I'm not upset. I think it's an interesting approach. Do I even need the user then? Let's comment that out just for right now. So I do need, so I can do this asynchronous. Aha. Aha. So that, oh, okay. I like that. All right, so now I've got the list of friends. So now I should be able to say var new list equals await Twitter list async create list. Okay, here we go. The name of the list. So I wanted to have a standard name for this list. So I wanted to call it private underscore whoever it is that we're let's call this private, yeah, and then whoever it is that we're looking into. So that would be the Twitter ID. There we go. Okay. What else do I need here? Privacy mode. Yes, it's the requirement that Ryan set for us was he wanted this to be a private list. Description. The list of accounts that Twitter ID follows as of, and then put in the date. Date time today. Yeah, I think that works. Okay. So I've created this list. Is this created on my account? It must be. That's the only account I have access to create lists for. IL difference between a tuple and a class for anyone who's interested. A screenshot of a social media post. Okay. That's nice. Thank you, Fritzbot, for that. It's a screenshot of a social media post. Alright. Is there tweet in user get authenticated user? Yes. But I'm already logged in. I set my user credentials here, but when I'm creating the list, it doesn't say for which user I'm creating the list for. So, Jim Marino, wow, Jim Marino, Rustlerino. Dude! That's some high-octane nickname there. Well done, Jim Marino. I like it. But yes, there is get authenticated user, but that gets me the user object, and I didn't think... Right, it's right here. I didn't think... I mean, well, let's take a look. Yeah, I can't manage the lists from here that my authenticated user has. Right? I don't have some way to access their Twitter lists. At least it doesn't look like it. Unless there's a Twitter list thing here. No. No, there is no Twitter list thing. So, Didn't Jeff just discover it? What did I just discover? That it isn't discoverable. Yes, I agree. I had to. To Freitje's point, I had to, on accident, I had to go to the documents to find it. What the API wasn't something that I was able to learn and go and discover. The boss just texted, and I'm not talking about Mrs. C# Fritz. Okay, so I've created the new list. So can I say new list dot, yeah, add member? Look at that. Add multiple members. Ooh. And there's an IEnumerable of user identifier users. So is this, oh boy. So this is a collection of user objects, and we need to add user identifier objects. How would you mock a static class? Agreed. This isn't very mockable. This isn't something that we can unit test and stub out. That could be an issue. And we're hammering through this pretty quickly. This is going to be an extra long session here today. I'm going to go for an extra hour till about 1 p.m. Eastern time. 10 a.m. West Coast Pacific time. Because today, my friend Brady Gaster is going to be running a stream about Visual Studio Code, working with Azure, and we're going to make sure that we set Brady up by raiding Brady at the end. Raiding Brady? Brady raids? Something like that. We're going to raid Brady at the end of our stream and check out what he's doing. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll tune in and see what Brady's been up to. He's really excited to be streaming, and I want to make sure that we can give him some support. Level 2 says that's cool. I agree. So we're going to race over there afterwards. Alright. So I'm going to add multiple members, but to add members, I need user identifiers. So can I say, can I get from users' friends to user identifiers? Can I say, can we do a select? And how do we get to user ID? Oh, look at that. Maybe I can do this. Okay. And that's an async, so we need to await that. Is that it? Just Brady? Yes, it'll be just Brady writing some code today. Yeah. That feels like all I need to do to get this thing working. I think. So, I'm setting the credentials for whoever's logged in. I don't think I need the user. I go get the collection of friends, create the private list, and then add the members. I think we can try this out. Let's see what happens. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with a ton of private lists here on my account. And that could be weird. Alright, use another service to log in. Yes. I accept. Twitter. It's going to redirect me back. Mining friends of Twitter ID, Ryan Loudermilk. So now if I go back, let's go to my Twitter. Twitter.com/C#Fritz. And where's my list? There they were. What? Who? Lists. Please. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. 27 members. And here's what Ryan was seeing today. Let's see. Let's actually look at. Let's look at his. Make sure it's 27. He's following 28 people because one of them is me. Right? He's following me? Tell me he's following me. Is Ryan following me? Which would be weird. You can't add yourself to yourself. Am I right? Ah, so he's got a private account there for, it looks like his wife or his sister. And that's fine. You know, we're not going to be able to see those folks. No problem. But that worked. Okay. So let's try this. Right, if I refresh this, there's my create private list. So I'm going to go back in. We had this Grease Monkey script. And right now it routes to, or from Benjamin the other day, it routes to. So let's change this to go to my test page. And now I should be able to, let's go over here. Hey, chat room, give me another account that I should create a private list from. Now, see, it didn't create the private lists. I don't have my create private list links appearing. There they are. John Skeet? Let's go find John Skeet. Because everybody loves John Skeet. We did a great stream with John, and he talked to us about date processing and management. I encourage you to check it out in the archive if you're interested in learning a little bit more from John. Great guy. He answered all of our questions during that session. So he follows 339 people. So if I click create private list, it should automatically go and create that private list from John's account. All right. So that didn't work. I thought it was running. Oh, you know what? I forgot the port number. Right, it's listening on a specific port number. Which port is it on? This one. Which port? So we can just have the final thing and we know we can see it end to end. 5001. Alright, back over here. Back to this. 5001. Save. Let's reload this. And I can see different places we would want to put this create private list button. So now, mousing over it, and I see it is going to the appropriate place. Waiting for that website. Mining friends. Now, it'd be nice if I had a little thing that popped up and said, oh, done, and it routed me back. So now, if I go back, and I go back to my page, lists, private John Skeet. Now I have 249 members on that list. He's following 339. So somewhere along the way, it dropped almost 90 people. I wonder. Oh, thank you for the link, Brave Cobra. No, wait. What do we have? Stand by reloading with the link there. There's no way to mock the library's functionality to test your own code. Yeah, I would have to, what's it called? I would want to wrap it, I guess. But this looks pretty close. Let me go back to my list. I'm actually just going to leave my list page up because I have a feeling we're going to be in here a bit. So here's the list. There's the 249 folks. And let's just make sure this is a private list. We can also fix the format of that date. So yes, delete that list. And I'm going to go here. So let's make this a short date string. Much better. Now, it's appending here. Add multiple members async. I feel like we don't want to add, right? This has got to have a maximum number to it, right? You could depict it. That would be the only way I see at the moment. Yeah. If we wrapped this in some sort of a some sort of a Twitter manager or Twitter proxy class, and we knew that worked the way that it should. For unit testing this, we would just unit test that, oh, we are calling our Twitter methods, and we would have to use something else to test that we were interacting with Twitter properly. So, good points there from everybody. I'm wondering if the add multiple members, if we can run this in parallel? Maybe? That would be kind of cool if we could. Right, so if we generated a couple of tasks, let them run, and then do a task when all complete. 5,000 accounts permitted per list. Yes. So we need to top out on that. Need to limit to 5,000 accounts. So we will not be tracking the Robert Scoble accounts. Because if we try to get Robert Scoble's accounts in there, yeah, it would blow up. 1,000 lists permitted per account. Not terrible. So we should probably also, let me get rid of this. We should probably also check how many lists that you have. So if we say let's get the current number of lists. Current number of lists equals Twitter list async. Let's see. Get user owned lists. I don't even want to get the lists. I just want to know how many there are. I think, yeah, it's going to return a collection of lists. And it wants a long user ID. What are my other overloads I have here? Ah, the username. Well, the username is whoever's logged in, so I don't want that. The user. Well, that's coming back to that user get authenticated user. Ensure we do not create more than 1,000 lists. Need to put that in there. I'm not concerned about it just yet because we're still just trying to get minimum viable here. But this, I think we need to do like a for each on this. Right, because I want to do like a skip take model. So let's say page size equals, let's say it's, let's do 50 just to make sure. Okay. Current, what is it? Current position? All right. While current position is less than, no, that could be a problem. How do I page through this? Won't Twitter just reject if too many lists? Let them validate. What if they increase the allowance? That's a good question, SQL Mr. Magoo. I'm rate limited in how I communicate with Twitter. I don't want to actually attempt interactions with Twitter that are unnecessary. So if I can do a quick check and see how many lists are out there first, then it prevents me from doing these 3 or 4 other actions and waiting for an error. You're right. It will throw an error, and then I can handle that. Agree, but right now it probably is really distracting. Nah, it's not just too distracting. I'm trying to get this thing paging, trying to figure out how to get this paging properly, and right, I want to do some while. Oh, rats. Don't need to see that. El Chef, thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate that. We will we'll match that subscription and we'll make a donation to Girl Develop It. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. All right. So I don't want to just do user friends select. I need to do user friends select. I'm gonna need to put this somewhere. User friends select. I'm going to skip current position. So I'm going to skip 0 to start. And then I'm going to take page size. And now I want to update current position equals current position plus the number of friends. How many times have I implemented some sort of paging? Weird that we don't have an algorithm for that already. Yeah, I kind of agree. Oh.
Hello, Fritz and friends.
Thank you so much, Brendan. I appreciate the subscription. 6 months. That's awesome. Thank you. Now, while I'm on the topic of subscriptions, there's a new feature that was released to Twitch broadcasters, to Twitch affiliates and partners, called loyalty badges. And if you look over in the chat, some folks have a sword, some folks have a crown, folks that are subscribers have a star. What this feature that Twitch released is, it allows us to put different, instead of stars, different icons to indicate different durations of subscription in the chat room. So we've looked at. I put a poll out there. Let me see. Actually, while we have Twitter up here, where's my other Twitter? My other Firefox. I don't see it. I put a poll up, and Twitter, as wonderful as they are, there's no way to actually find that poll that you opened how long ago. It's just not visible, even though I opened it like a day and a half ago. There it is. So I said, would it be cool to have different color coffee mugs for folks, or different colored hats? And literally, it's neck and neck between coffee mugs and hats. What did Brave Cobra ask? No. Brave Cobra. What did Brave Cobra ask? It does feel like that should be something. Oh, Stool Penner, that's a good idea. Create the poll and then just shut up for a day. No. I agree, though. We do need a simple paging algorithm. Just get me pages of these. That's right, I can't quiet down. So I wasn't sure between hats and coffee mugs. Which one should it be? I like the idea of coffee mugs. Need some more JavaScript to pin your polls. That's not a bad idea, to just pin it. But my pinned... Actually, I don't have a pinned tweet right now. That would have been a good way to go after this. Oh, big shout out to the Coding Commanders. I don't know if she's here. Is she? Is Commander Root? Is that? I don't know if that's Coding Commander here. She's got a brand new HTML training video out on YouTube. Great work by the Coding Commanders. Check it out. I really like what they're doing over there. Denny Dev, thanks so much for the follow. Anyways, so I'm not sure between... I mean, hats barely won there. So I do have icons for both of these, and I'm thinking different colors leading up to a year, and then there's even further badges. But it's like 1, 3, 6 months, and a year. There's 4 different badges that I can create here. How many hats do I have? Too many. Too many. Oh yeah, and I'm wearing my Eye of Agamotto hat because the Avengers Infinity War is available now on digital and Blu-ray in like a week or something. I'm gonna go and pick that up. Coffee is more important than code. No mugs. Just a handful of coffee beans. That's all you need. Only skip and take, right? Absolutely. That's all it is. Alright, so current position equals current position plus friends.count. New list, add multiple members, async, friends. And that should just add it. Now, if we don't get 50 out of this for some reason, because there's... No, we'll still hit the current position, right? We'll always get up to that 50. So let's just say while true. And then let's just say if friends.count is less than page size, right? If friends.count should be a thing. Break. I think that'll do it. Let's see what happens. But it's only skip and take. That's correct. Least fix. So I don't know. Chat room, what do you think? Hats, mugs, do while. I could do a do while. Hats. Oh wait, Brendan's been quite vocal about hats. If I were to change this into a do while. See, now I don't have that friends count here. Right? Eye patches. Now cut that out. Mugs wearing hats. You're killing me, Smalls. Let's see here. Alright. So now I should actually have several lists of Ryan Loudermilk's people. Let's go back over here to lists. Yeah, look at all those Ryan Loudermilk ones. 27, 27, 27. So let's... I wish I could delete these quickly. But this list looked like it built properly. Look at that. Thurrott is talking about Fortnite. Fortnite is ditching the Google Play Store. I would ditch them too if I was Fortnite and I was making the big bucks that they are. All right, so now let's try Thurrott. There's a good one to try. Our friend Paul Thurrott. I bet you I spelled it wrong. I did. It's 2 R's. So there's Paul Thurrott. He follows 128 people. I'm not one of them. Just implement to delete all your lists that begin with private. Should it update the existing one for the same screen name? That's a good idea. Let's see what happens. I'm going to click the create private list. It's going to route over to my website, and it should, mining friends, be nice if it routed right back to where you came from. So there we are, back on the Paul Thurrott page. Love you, Paul. Paul's a friend. Actually lives near me now. He's about 2 hours north. 2-hour drive north. Not even. He's like an hour drive north. Lists. Private Thurrott, 123 members. He follows 128. So there's 5 people in there that are either private accounts. There's one. So I'm not surprised that right, we're seeing private accounts. 2, 3. Look at that, he follows Kendra Havens. Interesting. But not me. I kid. I don't know why anybody would follow me. He follows Trav. Big Trav. Ryan, you should be jealous. Let's see here. Keep looking here. I'm looking for... Oh, he does follow Ryan. Okay, Ryan, no need to be jealous. It looks like he actually followed you before Trav. So, Joe B. I'm looking for number 4 and number 5 on the private lists. Okay, there's another one. I probably missed one. Unless he does follow me. Does he follow me? No, he doesn't follow me. Alright. So, I'm pretty happy about that. Standby Reloading says, if you make your beard goal, we'll need an emoji as a rainbow beard. Oh, I'm gonna make stickers. If we make the goal, I'm making stickers with the rainbow beard. This face with a rainbow beard? Search for the lock symbol. Oh, look at that. Great idea. It won't highlight it. No dice. Good idea. If it was just a font, that'd be perfect. Stream Tools Twitter integration. Ooh. Genesco. I like that idea. Shouldn't it update the existing one? I could definitely see doing that. Wait, Thurrott follows Chris Love? Huh? Alright, whatever. So now if I look over here and I look at the private Thurrott list. So the string looks pretty good here. The list of accounts that Thurrott follows as of... And now it's only, 128, and he follows 100. 123, he follows 120. Good. If I look at the list members, there they all are. And it built it pretty nice, you know? I don't have any complaints about that at all. So the question in my mind now is... I'm getting tweets from Brady. Anyways. So this is pretty cool. I like how this works now. I think the one thing that I'd like to do is either have that follow button, and there's actually there's a little bit of a problem with the Grease Monkey script. First off, it didn't run first time in here. I'll reload again so it appears. But what I'd like to do, right, if I scroll down here, hey, Mike Morhan, you'll see I'll get so far and it doesn't appear anymore. And that's because Twitter is dynamically loading this content, and when it puts more content on the page, I'm not intercepting and attaching that create link. So there's another piece of the script here that we can improve. But I'm not married to that yet. Right, I think that's something we can get to later. Here's a big one: 6,000 followers. Now that would break the functionality that we've built. So I don't want to do that one. Shannon Morse, Snubs, 713, right? See, it didn't appear right away. There it is. Create private list. And I would like it to redirect me back after it's done mining. Blogging integration to Stream Tools would be cool. You've got some great ideas there, Genesco. Let's capture those as issues so that we can do these things. Now that didn't actually go anywhere. Right? Yeah, it's running. Right, so we should add those people from Snubs? Whatever. Lists. Show me some more lists. Private Snubs. 249. Now check that out. It added 249 of her 713. So we clearly didn't capture everybody. Right, I feel like maybe we have a page that comes up with a timer, because it's not loading everybody into the list. I mean, it only got 249 folks. Right, so where's the other 500 people? Maybe there's a limit from Twitter of how many actions per minute you're allowed to do. I just did it twice. So I haven't hit that limit. Why am I seeing Entity Framework Core? Oh, because it's getting the keys out of the database. That's what it's doing. All right. But I'm not hitting a limit there. You should change the current game on Twitch to Twitter. Very nice. Bug found. No. So. Okay. So why am I not getting everybody? Right, particularly from snubs. It is programming still. Yes. Yes, yes. All right, I'm gonna leave that one up. Let's try this again for our friend Snubs. Create private list. Now I should see it hit my breakpoint. Here we go. Friends.count page size. Page size is 50. So we're good on that first one. Right? Run that again. Ugh. Let's add this as a watch. Ah, come on. Add watch. 50. Alright, so we're still good there. Next one. 50. Okay. Let's also add one for the current position. Okay. Alright. So we're at 250 and it did find 50. Now that time it got 0. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Get friends only returned 250 people. Right? No F Sharp Friday today, correct, Captain Salt. We're holding off for a little bit. I have another workshop next week. And then I have surgery the week after, and I want to make sure that we allocate appropriate time for that. It does seem like a significant number. It sure feels like our library is cutting off there when we get friends at 250. Get the first 250 friends. There it is. Get the first 5,000 friends IDs. Aha! Only one. Thanks so much for the follow. Steve, you look a little sweaty there, buddy. So maybe I need, if I do get friends IDs instead of get friends. Where'd it go? Get friends. There it is. Get friend IDs, and that returns an IEnumerable of long. Rats. Because if I do that, add multiple members async, it wants user identifiers, and I don't have. Do you know how we could find out how Microsoft does PRs, code reviews internally, like best practices? You know what? That's a really good question that I'm certain somebody from the VSTS team has talked about. I'm sure there's documentation on it somewhere on how they do it. If not, it's something I wouldn't mind asking one of my friends in engineering to discuss with us on stream. That's not a bad idea at all. Wampa TV. I'm going to take that as a best practices for Microsoft code reviews. I'm going to take that as something to talk about on a future show. There was something on YouTube or Channel 9, but I don't know. That feels like something that would be really good to talk through. Yeah. So if I do the get friend IDs, it returns their... It returns the int. Oh, look at this. Hang on. Wait a tick. So now we can say get friend IDs max value. Welsh Ronaldo, thank you so much for your subscription with your Twitch Prime account. I appreciate that, and we'll match that subscription, make a donation to Girl Develop It. Yeah, we're going to be making a fat donation here in just a few weeks. Really, really happy with how this is coming together. Thunderstorms near the TV's dropping frames, but internet connection isn't. Oh man. Seems like a thing Raymond Chen might have written about. Maybe. Where I think this group might be more interested would be in somebody from the .NET team speaking about how they do their code reviews, because they do it because they're working on open source projects. I know they use someone like David Fowler does all of his code reviews, I believe, through PRs and reviews PRs. But I'm gonna track that one down and see what I can do to either share as much information as I can, or have someone maybe blog about it. Maybe we can put together a video. Maybe we can have them join us here and show us how they review PRs, because I got some PRs from all of you, and they're mighty nice. I really enjoy them, and I want to make sure that we give them the appropriate attention. So thank you, and thank you, Welsh Ronaldo. All right, so I can tell this rate limit tracker, and then I can say, but see that get friends IDs. I don't want to get the friends IDs. I want to get the friend. Because if I get the ID, then I still have to convert it back into making a list. Can I make a list and pass in, right? If I say create a list, get existing list, update a list, it just says create list. Update, get tweets. I want to add users to a list. List identifiers. Is streaming part of my job at Microsoft, or do you still work for a full day after streaming? Yes and yes, Joker. This is a good question. Let me step back from the code for just a second, because I want to make sure that we give this appropriate. We've done pretty well here on stream. I'm pretty happy with the number of folks that we have following us. I like some of the games and things that we're doing here. It's fun. This idea of the rainbow beard thing, all good fun, and we're supporting we're supporting, good causes, and I think we're all learning very well here, right? I'm certainly learning from you. I've heard from a number of our pair programmer viewers that you're having good things happening with your jobs. You've been able to advance your career. You've taken some inspiration from some of the things that we've done here, applied it to some other courses, and folks are now in programming jobs. And that's flattering. I love hearing that. I love hearing that people are growing, right? I'm a firm believer that knowledge and being able to grow in our community is something that should be a lot easier than it is. I've made pre-recorded videos. I've written books. I've written blog posts. This is one of the most rewarding things that I do during my day, and I really appreciate the attention that you have given to this stream, to the YouTube channel. The folks who come on and have joined us for workshops, who have pair programmed with us during the week. This week, Ryan Loudermilk and Benjamin Howarth, both at the end of their streams, were like, wow, that was really cool. The audience, the viewers, the other folks that are pair programming with us out there and submitting pull requests or giving us feedback, tremendous interaction. It's a vibe. It's something that you don't get anywhere else in technology education unless you pay huge money to go and sit in at a conference, in a venue, in front of an educator, somebody who's training you, who might not be the person from whatever product team that it is you're learning about. So I very much appreciate that you're joining us and that we've been able to make this into something special. And new followers all the time. This has been tremendous for me, seeing our friend Steve pop up there, welcoming new developers. There he is twice now. Thanks so much, new followers. And I've made it a point that we've greeted all almost 3,100 of you, 3,081 followers. And that's important to me. I want to make sure that I thank you for joining us. And as such, we've started a Visual Studio channel here on Twitch. We have a Visual Studio channel on Mixer. Starting next month, and a big part of my job is going to be managing and building out that content. The ASP.NET Community Stand-Up is using OBS now because they're going to start broadcasting to that Visual Studio channel. They are one of several shows that we're setting up to be broadcast live on Twitch at the Visual Studio channel. I want to make that a nexus, a center of gravity for developer content, so that if you want great developer content, some of our friends that like Brendan you see here, Mark Miller with his Code Rushed account, Brady Gaster in just a little bit, you'll be able to go to one place and you'll see some of this content that we think is great, that you might enjoy, and you're welcome to jump off from the Visual Studio channel to those other places. But we're also going to have some great content broadcast there from Channel 9 and from some other folks. But very much, streaming is now a part of my job, and I thank my supervisors, my management chain for supporting me in this, because they definitely see your interest, and they see that this interaction that we have and showing folks some of the new cool things that you can do with Visual Studio, with .NET, with Azure, is a great avenue for all of us to learn from each other. Not just me showing, hey, here's the cool new Azure feature, but for you coming back and saying, well, it'd be great if it did this. And we have that immediate touch point. It's been amazing. So that's some of the things that we're looking at doing. And it's going to be great. James Montemagno, Paige Bailey. James is going to be joining us for the Xamarin Workshop. Paige Bailey, I talked to Paige for a while at Build. And we're definitely interested in doing a stream together. We just need to figure out some of the logistics. 21 followers per day to get to the rainbow beard. Well, let's make that happen. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your pets. Sign up for Twitch. So that's another thing. So I've been talking to the folks at Twitch also. There's some new features that I'm going to be bringing to the stream. Extensions that I'm adding that are custom. Only going to be available here, that not only is Microsoft excited about, but Twitch is thrilled that we're bringing. So I hope, and it's something tricky that we're trying to build. We'll see how that gets up and running. Seth was nice in the Channel 9 studios. Seth is also interested in joining us, but once again, there's some logistics there we need to get down. So, yes, lots of other people at Microsoft are considering doing it. Brian Clark has a stream that he runs around JavaScript and Visual Studio Code. We're gonna see him a bit on the Visual Studio channel. All kinds of folks, and I want to encourage and enable these people to be able to stream. Other MVPs are interested in hosting their own channels, and that's great. I want to enable these folks to be able to share. I do realize that it's not for everybody, but I think there's definitely opportunities here for us to grow this and make it into something great. There's another one right there, Chef Brent. Good morning, Brent. You just need to read the friends page more slowly. Get friends returns an IEnumerable of ID, which is what you want to add to the list. Yes, there is also a whole code sample linked for retrieving more than 5,000 IDs. Yes, you're right, Smap. So let me go back to the code now. Now that we've had our diatribe done, let's go back to the code. There is a sample bit of code here for retrieving those IDs. Here's the problem. When you want to add users to the list, members. So get members of list, add member user identifier, right? Add users to list by specifying their ID screen name. Oh! Hang on, wait a tick. Add member to list, add multiple members to list, list identifier, and then user identifiers. So is user identifier there? Can that be their ID? Pixel Logic Dev, thank you so much for the follow. I can start streaming soon as I get fiber. Hey, great! More power to you, Janescu. That's awesome. So I don't know who this is. Alright, so instead, since I'm topped off at 5,000 here, so instead of saying get friend IDs, there was a way I can set the maximum followers to 5,000. Done. Do I work for Microsoft? Yes, I do, Pixelogic. I'm on the .NET and Visual Studio community team. So I'm very much a proponent of open source. Everything that I do here on stream is open source, and I'm always happy to answer questions about Azure and Microsoft development products. ADSL with 1 meg up isn't so stable for streaming. Yeah, it's not. But Pixelogic, I think the developers welcome from Steve. I think that's funny for any developer, regardless of whether you're Microsoft or not. So if I'm getting back friends IDs here, right? This is a collection of IDs, long numbers. Right? I'm not returning that. I just want to bring back. I don't even need that select. I can just say, right? Skip and take those. Right? This is now an IEnumerable of long integers. And then add multiple friends async. Well, this now wants user identifiers. Do I have to turn this into a new user identifier? Right? Long user ID. Ooh. So do I have to do something? This would be really cheesy if I had to do this. New Twitter, new user identifier. That feels cheesy. You know what I mean? One more. But it would work. What do you think? Got hired on with Microsoft a year ago. Nice to see other Microsoft peeps streaming. Oh, that's great, Pixelogic. Feel free to drop me a whisper with your information if you want to connect on corporate email and talk about streaming, what we can do to collaborate here. Joker says, thanks for the thorough response. I'm glad to hear so many people have learned and advanced their careers through the channel. I've been trying to absorb absorb as many resources as possible in order to get my first web dev job one day. If there's things that you need help with, Joker, let's talk about it. You know, if there's things that we can learn together on stream, we can focus on, dig a little bit further into. Drop me a line either on Twitter, open an issue on my GitHub in the live stream repository, and we'll take a look at that, and we'll every now and again we'll have a show where we go through and review some of those topics. Ah, great Pixelogic, that's awesome. So our friends, some of the people in the various tech communities were hired on recently to Microsoft as what they call Cloud Developer Advocates, or CDAs. And I am not a CDA. I actually work for the product team. The Cloud Developer Advocates work for that interesting middle place between marketing, education, and product. It's developer advocacy, right in the middle there. And they help all three of those groups write documentation, build courses, present and do some marketing around new features, speaking at events on things like that, and also providing feedback to the product team. Those folks, I forget how many, there's almost 100 of them, 120. They're having a summit this week in Redmond. Those really great folks there. They're interested in streaming. I really wish I could have been there this week to talk to them about it, but it is what it is. Our friend Suze Hinton is there. I'm sure she's representing streaming concepts very well. Soul Rev Dev asks, can I ask, are all scaffolded ASP.NET Core projects that use identity and therefore a database use the Windows-only MS SQL DB? No. They'll start with SQLite, actually. It's easy to flip it over to SQLite. As quite often, I clone .NET Core projects and they don't work out of the box as I'm a Mac and Linux user. Yeah, they should use SQLite. If you scaffold it, there is a way to get it to use SQLite instead of SQL Server. So, and yes, SegFalter makes a great point. Microsoft SQL is not Windows only. You can get a Docker container that has SQL Server in it and connect and use that too. Good luck. Make sure to write code. Yes, least fixed point makes a good point. As an engineer, as a developer, write as much code as you can. Break things on your own. Don't break your employer's project, but figure out, what it is that you want to learn, and then just break things. Write as much code. Get lost in code. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's the biggest hurdle that I've seen people have with streaming, is they're afraid to make mistakes in front of you, our viewers. And wow, I make a lot of mistakes in front of you. You know what I mean? I'm blowing up stuff all over the place. All right. New App Cat would be great for that. Yes, she would. So that would be a fun place to be. It would. And it just makes me more human. Write some truly terrible code. That's okay. Absolutely. Right? That's what refactoring is for. Let's get the code working, and then let's figure out how we can simplify, improve performance after the fact. Okay, Brave Cobra saying, don't worry, we'll help you. But that little maniacal laugh at the end, it's like, really? Really? I'm looking at that and I'm waiting for the bad thing to happen. So. Do it! All right, we'll get back to the code, I promise. This feels weird that I need to wrap that user identifier, but let's give this a shot now and see if we can get that list to load. I know! AKR Commander, we're getting there. Awesome. Alright, well, this is starting up. Alright. That's... my Mac stopped typing. It literally stopped typing. Okay, there we go. Yes, I use a Mac while we're broadcasting here. Alright. Do it. Yes. Here we go. Alright, so now it's paging through that list. This is for the default one where we're grabbing all of Ryan Loudermilk's followers and creating a new list. And we really should make that into a managed list. I liked what, I forget who was it who said it, that maybe that should be, if the list already exists with that name, go update the list. That's not a bad idea. Let's, let's come back to that. I think you guys had a really good idea with that, but that's not something that I want to get too wrapped up in right now. So I'm gonna look at this. It only grabbed one member. Yes, delete the list. I think we got a problem here. Team, I think we've got a problem. I think Jeff introduced a bug. Gee, go figure. Me? Introduce a bug? I'm going to leave this private list of Thurrott people out here. Just so I can troll Paul. Alright. Let's go back over here. So it's getting that... It should get that full list of friends' IDs. So I am limiting it to 5,000 accounts, so I don't... Alright, fine. Page size. Alright. Skip current position, take. Current position, post friends. Yeah, I kind of agree, Janescu. I would expect the Twitter developer portal to be blue like Twitter. Add multiple members async, friends select. So it should return all of them. And add them. Right? So let's go back and let's look at our friend Snubs here. Let's try creating that list from Shannon Morse. And it's doing something, doing the stuff. All right, friends count 50. Okay. Can I make that friends length? No. Rats, because it's an IEnumerable. All right, we'll do the link thing. So it should have added... Right? It should have added 50 people. So now it's coming back through. It should be adding another 50. And again. So I'm going to put a breakdown here. Let's see how many folks it added. Is that Pavel Hrantenenko? Thank you so much for the follow. So does this project use SQLite? Can I quickly clone and get going? That's a great question. I don't know. Now look at that. It stopped at 150. Why did it stop at 150? Right? When it got 713 in the user friends collection. Right? Oh, wait. I put the breakpoint in the wrong place. Go. Let me take a look at what this is. I missed the point. What's the paging for? We can only add so many folks to the list at a time. All right. So current position. All right. It went through all of them. So I should now have a list of called private snubs. Now look, it's got 5 members. Why does it only have 5 members? Right? It's like we saw it add. Twitter docs say you can have 50 in one page. Right, so I'm adding 50 at a time here. Riddle me this, Batman. Woo! Right, yeah. I know. Add multiple members async, and it's like it's only selecting the first one. You know what I mean? let's do this. Just let me go back over here, back to the top. I'm gonna delete this one. Yep. Var friends list. Karnak, that doesn't look the least bit annoying. Yes, go away. Friends list. Alright, I'm gonna put a breakpoint right there. Because that should be more than just one or two, right? Alright. Friends list is... Dude. Okay. They grabbed the 27 people for Ryan. And it's going to add those 27 people. So what did it do? So now I'll refresh over here. We should have a private Ryan Loudermilk. 0 members. So that's a problem. Getting the IDs and then using this new user identifier with that long user ID and saying add this person, it's not doing it. Yes, Tazzer now. Absolutely. Auth error came up. This is... Oh, look at that. Remote party closed the transport stream. No, Twitter, no. Don't leave me. Oh. Are they on to me? Are they cutting me off? I mean, it's not even adding... I want to look under this and see how many... See exactly how that thing is running. Because if it's... Yeah. Surely you can just pass in user friends and let it handle the paging. No, it's not handling the paging. Let's see here. That's not where I want to be. No. Right, because when I do get friends, where'd it go? Right, so there's get follower IDs and being able to specify. I think I want to open this up. To get all the friends of a famous person. Oh, la-dee-da. Look at me. Get all friends code. Let me look at this. String format, IDs, screen name, username. Now wait a sec. How to get up to 75,000 friend IDs. I don't want 75,000 friend IDs. I want 75,000 friend... It did create list with more than 200 earlier. Yes. I'm having trouble with the list. I just fixed my bike so that the handlebar is no longer creaking. Stoolpenner? What does that have to do with this?
It can be done exactly how I want it.
It will be done.
The only question is, are you the man to do it?
Yes, I am. And Stoolpenner just gave me the confidence to get this done. Huh? You like that? This feels weird that I need to actually build the reference to that. It's doing multiple requests in the background. Run Fiddler to find out. No, I'm not running Fiddler. I don't want to do that. I should be able to say... Let me go back to my code. I want. So this get friend IDs isn't doing what I need it to do. Yeah, it's getting IDs. But it's not actually adding them to the list. Like, it's not getting me... Oh, wait a sec. Max friends to retrieve. Bazinga. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So then I want this as u dot get user. Well, no, it was u dot user identifier. That will work now. You have multiple members, could perhaps need IEnumerable user identifiers. Yes, that's what it is. Now we'll get mining the friends of Ryan Loudermilk. 0 members. Now it really doesn't work. Hang on. It should have gotten up to 5,000 folks. Skip, take, current position. Friends list equals friends select. Add multiple friends to the list. Let's go back to this, refresh. We should see it. Right, so the friends list, there they all are. Cool, okay. So it should have added those folks. Right, it awaited it. It should have done as a second parameter there. Is there a second parameter? There is no second parameter. It's always one parameter. So it should break at this point. Check the return from add multiple. Does that return? Oh, multiple requests result. Uh-oh. Don't I have a logger here? No. Fine, be that way. Yes, I'm cheating. It might have failed because of rate limit. I hope not. Might have also failed because they don't like me. No, kidding. Alright, so result success. Look, success! But 0 members. I think it's lying. It is firing multiple requests. Oh, you stink. Oh, please, Brave Cobra, don't tell me it ain't so. Oh. Oh, it hurts so much. Why would they do such a thing? You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
And you blew it!
You did. You completely blew it. You make me sad. I'm gonna have to do this by hand, aren't I? Punk. Create and manage lists. List members, create. It is rate limited. That's what's happening, is I'm running into this rate limit and Tweet Envy isn't telling me about it. List ID, slug, user ID, who to add. I can only add one user at a time? Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's already handling the paging because it's doing this one at a time. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. Create all. What's create all? Adds multiple members to a list by specifying a comma-separated list of member IDs or screen names. There we go! Skip, take, list, add or remove multiple members max.to array. There's my users to add. Query, get add multiple members to list query. Where's that? Where's that? It's gotta be here somewhere. It's gotta be here on the page somewhere. Come on, find it. Find it. It's nowhere to be found. So where's this? It's a... Find it. Where is it? Oh my gosh. This thing. It's an iTwitter list query generator. Okay. We'll find it. Is it turning it into Twitter list query generator? Get user list memberships. No. Get users list. No. Update list query. I don't think so. Add multiple members to list query. New string builder. Add formatted parameter to query. Generate identifier parameter. Really? Generate list of user identifiers parameter. You can't just write the for loop there to do this. Okay. We will find it. It's only used in those two places, and it's on this user query parameter generator. Okay. User query is an user query parameter generator. Twitter. Is it under user? User query parameter generator. Okay. Generate list of user identifiers parameter. User ID and screen name equals. String format. Yeah, it's appending all of them. Someone implement a go-to definition feature on GitHub. I agree wholeheartedly. Yes.
Do it!
Do it now. What are you waiting for? Go, do it. There's a Grease Monkey script. Alright. So it sure looks like it's formatting that method, that list of folks, right? It's doing the skip take here. And it is generating that list. It'd be nice if it logged it here somewhere. Which makes me think I can go back over here, and instead of making this a page size equals 50, right? I could just say take them all and do it. I don't need to do this paging because it already does that. Right? I don't need to do the skip take here. I don't need this. I can turn this to user friends. So I get the user's identifier and then just add them. Let's see how that works. What's that translate add-in on my browser? It's a translate add-on in my browser. Which one? This one up here? 1 second. Okay, the result was success. So I've got, what is that? Privacy Essentials. This is, so I can translate, which one is it? Simple Translate is the one I use. Frequently I have folks that send me links to web pages and things that are in other languages, and I need to be able to translate them if they don't have a translation available. So now let's refresh this. 0 members. So it stopped working. Actually, this is Firefox that I'm using. I'm not using Chrome. There's a really good one from Bing, a Bing Translate plugin for Edge that I like to use as well. It's Edge. I have my challenges with Edge. Edge is not supported very well by the streaming websites. Okay. So I'm getting the friends list, and it's not adding them, right? I mean, it's coming back, and it looks like success. Right? That says success, but it's not actually adding these folks. I mean, there they are, but it's not there. I like Edge for day-to-day stuff, but it still has its limits. It does. And it's mostly because folks don't support it, and they go for bleeding edge things that Chrome supports. And Edge is very tightly coupled to the release of Windows. If you are not updating Windows, you're not getting Edge updates. Okay, so this is saying success, even though, and I really wish it would log exactly what it did. 0. What are you doing? We had this working. User friend select, user identifier. Right, this is trying to add an IEnumerable of iUser identifiers. This is an IEnumerable of iUser identifiers. So it's dropping. I don't want to start another browser debate, but why is Edge so ingrained with Windows? That goes back to, I believe it goes back to the European monopoly proceedings, where you're not allowed to bundle a browser with Windows, and Microsoft said we need to ship our browser with Windows. Funny thing, the other people who now make their own operating systems besides Microsoft, and I'm specifically looking at iOS, Android, macOS, bundle their browser with their operating system, and it's not a problem. But I digress. So Microsoft fought to have the browser coupled and delivered with Windows as a piece of the operating system. So Edge must be part of the operating system. Legally is the way I believe that breaks down. The same mistake was made twice. All right. I want to know, how much, where was it? There was a thing here that said about checking the rate. Right, that gave the rate. Where was it? Was it here? Get all friends code. Right, because they wrote a little bit of code here to get the rate limit. A wait for query rate limit. I'm going to grab this. And let's see what's going on here. Username. Yeah, let's punch in the Twitter ID. All right, how are we doing? 12:05. We've got about an hour left. Google got hit with a similar antitrust about pushing search engine last month. Yes. Yes. All right, results. Ugh, what? Are you kidding? Query, cursor to array. I shouldn't need a cursor on this. Right, because I'm... Oh, come on. Come on, team. What is this doing? Await for query rate limit. Right, there's a way to check your query limit. Your rate limit from Twitter. And I think I closed that page. Hey there, crows. All right, rate limiting and rate limits per user per application, 15-minute windows. HTTP headers. There we go. Tips to avoid being rate limited. I hate to think we already have. Make a call to the application get rate limit status. There we go. $180 requests. So if we make a request to that, what happens if I go there? Ugh. What's up? Are you all cool? Yes, we are. Read the middle of the friendships page. That's the list here. Get friends. Rate limit considerations is important. You will have to consider using rate limit. Yeah. Yep. But it's not telling me how to identify what my current rate limit is. Ashley has a link for us. What do you got there? Rate limit async. Get current credentials, rate limits. Ah, there we go. That'll do. Let's follow down that. So instead of doing this, get current credentials, rate limits. And I want to put a breakpoint here so I can see exactly what that limit is. 34 Celsius outside. I have no AC. Oh, dude. Okay. I'm so sorry to hear that. Alright, so what's his rate limits? Waiting for activation. Are you kidding me? Oh. I didn't await it. Yeah, you caught me there, Ashley. Thank you. All right, rate limits. Wow. It's like every method. Friends IDs limit. 13 out of 15 remaining. Okay. So that's not bad. We're in good shape there. List members limit. I'm looking for something that has a 0 on it. think we're in great shape here. I want to test that again. Doesn't seem like a rate limit problem. Agreed. Right? Because the method that's being rate limited by Twitter is this create all on the list, right? And it is rate limited. Let's move this down there. Let's see what we get. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a rate limit problem. I feel like we're right there. We had this working. All right, so it's going to go get the friends. Going to try to create the accounts. Okay, now if I look at rate limits here, I'm going to open this up. So, application rate limit status limit. We're still good there. We're not creating context. We're not direct. So we got friend IDs. That's fine. We're still great there. Lists. List members. We're not... It's... And we're not showing. We're adding to it. So we're good on those. Statuses, no. Trends, no. Rate limit context. Huh? What is that? So what I'm seeing here in this collection, I think we're okay on the rate limit. Other endpoint rate limits, and it's just a 0. There's no other endpoints there that it's showing me. So it sure looks like it added all of those. It would reset in 15 minutes. I don't know when the last call was. Let me go back to here. Refresh this. Nope, 0. Thank you for the follow. Wow, is that Madasabi? Thanks for joining us. Right, wasn't this how we had this setup? Mr. Byte TV, 3 months subscribing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you choosing to join us and supporting the stream here. That's great. Thank you so much. But I'm a little confused here why this isn't... I mean, if I take this... crumbs, I'm in debug mode. Get rid of that. Paste it. No. No. Bad idea. Grab this, and I'm just going to put it right there. Get rid of that. And it should do that. Right? I mean, we were doing get friends and we're awaiting it, so we have that list. We're clearly creating those folks properly. Why would it be dropping this? Why? Right? I mean, we're still in really good shape here. Friend IDs limit, so that's the number of times we can request collections of friends' IDs. So we're still doing amazing. I'd be frustrated this library is not throwing any exceptions or even providing feedback on failing to do something. Yes. Completely agreed. 0. not cool. Let's refresh here. Let's take a look at the result. I think Ashley has... Oh, look who's here. Look who stopped by. Result is success. Don't you have a stream to get ready for, Mr. Gaster? Don't you?
Do it!
Go. What do you think I'm doing? Oh yeah.
It can be done exactly how I want it.
It can.
The only question is, are you the man to do it?
Yes, I am. So it sure looks like it's doing it, but it's not logging any of that information for me. Does this library have some sort of a log that we can set up? Get credential rate limits, users lookup limit, query rate limit. Meh. Finally, you can easily wait for the query rate limits to be available. Manual handling tutorial. I don't want that. ASP.NET consideration. What's this? Yeah, whatever. It works fine for me. Exception handling. Yeah. Disable the exception swallowing to allow exception to be thrown. Ah! Ha! Spill your guts. Perishable. Nom nom nom. Exception swallowing. Good. Nom 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 nom. Nom 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 nom. Nom nom. Still result is success because there is no exceptions to swallow. Let that go. Ta-ta. Looks like it loaded properly, and we'll go look at the lists. Nope. You know what? Let's try our friend Brady Gaster here. Let's try, right? Brady, you are, aren't you just, yeah, you are Brady Gaster on Twitter. So let's try Brady Gaster. And so we're going to try and load all of the people that Brady follows and see what happens. So it's taken a lot longer because I have a feeling that Brady follows a few more people than Ryan. He follows 933 people. Still well within our limit. And our rate limits is coming back. Come on, rate limits. Ta-ta. We're still well within that rate limit. We're within our friend ID's limit, so we're fine on those. So this should have created a list, and it's got one member. David Levitt. How's that work? How did it create only one member? Alright, hang on. Let's come back here. Let's do this. Somebody was saying let's do this the synchronous way. Since I'm awaiting it anyway, it's like, well, why not? So if we change this to Twitter list, I can get rid of the await. Right, this is returning a new iTwitter list. And if we change this to add multiple members, I can get rid of the await. Alright. Now let's see. I think he may have been my first Twitter friend as I signed up when he was in my class. Brady? You've got class? Woo! No. Let's see. Alright, result this time. Success. Trying to add Mr. Loudermilk, because he's only got 27 folks that he follows. That looks like it ran properly. No. Call the fire department. Brady got burnt. Ugh. Boom. Didn't read it yet, but that's it. Twitter list query executor. Yeah. I was looking at that, and it is crazy deep. Where'd it go? Yeah. Let me grab what Ashley has here for us. Let's take a look-see. Yeah. So it's doing the skip take and adding the members to the list, and it's building a comma-separated list. And trying to post that. Yeah, Tizarnal, I think you're right. Oh, man. This was working for us a few minutes ago, you know? Can I track my post request? No, I can't. Unless I broke out Fiddler, and I don't have Fiddler installed. All right, let's go grab Fiddler. I didn't want to do this, but we're going to have to. Fiddler. So Fiddler attaches yes, my email. Are you kidding? Country. Come on now. State. Blood type. What? Blood type? It did get mentioned earlier, and I was trying to avoid having to do this, but because I can't see the requests. Should have committed when it worked. S and B. That's the understatement of the stream. Absolutely. Let's see what we got here. Alright, installation was successful. Oh, good. Run it. Ta-da! No, I don't want to learn more. No. Dude! Look at that. All that stuff that's going on in the background. Ugh. Alright. Close. Let's go over here, refresh this. API Twitter.com. Check it out. Okay. I don't care about the statistics. Yeah. Alright. Connect. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, this is all SSL. Yeah. Give me the decryption. Yes, trust it. Yes. I know that. I get it. Non-browsers only. Okay. Try this again. Let that go. We will refresh that page in just a minute. Here. I'm going to delete this one. And then we'll take a look at what exactly is going across that wire. There we go. Alright. API Twitter. Friends IDs. Response body. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Whoop. Alright, so there it got the friends IDs back. Right. No, I don't want... I want the inspectors. Oh, baby. So it's doing a lookup on Ryan Loudermilk. Why did it bring all that crap back? Like, it brought back everything about all these folks. Fiddler will show keys. I know. I'm trying to avoid it. Okay, name, URI. Okay, so this is information about me. I'm not gonna touch on auth. Don't want to look at raw. Query string, okay. So there's the information in creating it. And then it called create all. And it passed all those user IDs. So that looks like it should have run properly. There's JSON view at the end. Yeah. So, I mean, that sure looks like... Right, that's what it's trying to create. This is me that it's adding. But here's the user IDs that it's trying to put onto that list. And that list was created here. One 10254. So it's creating the list and it's trying to populate it. It ends with 2931. Let me go to the text on that ID that comes back. 2931, and then it tries to put onto 2931 all of those users, and they're not getting in there. Sure, we'll go back to the lists. 0 members. We had this. Where is it getting dropped? Because it's clearly passing the command to Twitter. And actually, look at that. The name of the list changed. That was private hyphen. Just for giggles. Just for giggles. Okay. So it doesn't matter who it is, whose list it is we are creating, or what the name of it is, or the format of the name. It's not generating it properly. It's not adding those members, even though it's made that request, and it sure looks properly formatted from the documentation that we've seen. Curious. All right. I don't want to waste any more time on this because there's something else going on here, and I can't figure it out right now, and I don't want to brute force it. Because we've been futzing with this for the last half hour, and we haven't been able to get it to resolve anything. I wonder if I change... I'm just going to try one... I want to try one thing real quick. Change this back to get friend IDs. And turn this into... just to see if that works. Were you doing a create or a create all query? It was doing a create all. I'm missing a paren here. It's doing a create all. Yeah, the library should be handling that for us, and when I looked in the Fiddler query, it was doing a create all. Let this go. Okay. Refresh. Nope, nothing. Alright, I'm going to put this query to the side for right now. Because it's not doing what we want it to do. I'm going to check in what we've got at this point. Because we've definitely come somewhere. And I'm wondering if there's either an issue on Twitter's side, or if something with our rate limiting is screwed up and we're not getting that detail. Attempting to create lists now. And I'm going to push that. Because I do want to get to some of the other things that are going on with CoreWiki that folks have worked on, and I want to make sure we give those appropriate time here. So this works. Thanks for the updates. Alright. I should have closed that. There we go. Alright. Let me go over to CoreWiki. It's been a few days since we've worked on that. And we've got a bunch of pull requests out here. Ashley is introducing DTOs here. That's a big change that I don't want to touch just yet. SMAB is refactoring CSS to use Bootstrap and our existing common CSS file. We introduced a new CSS file called common, but we already have a Sass file called custom styles that performs those types of functions. It's included in the compilation of the theme files. So what SMAB did is, since the themes include custom variables and custom styles, just kind of move that all together and put the things that I put into that common CSS, it sounds like, into those appropriate places, and simplified some of this markup. Yeah, remove these extra bits that are in here. Cool. Let's squash and merge. Thanks for the contribution. All right. I'm pretty cool with the changes to CSS, not having to go too deep into them. And SMAB's done a great job of keeping these in line. So this type of merging here isn't changing our logic too much. And it's a good bit of... It's not changing our logic at all. It's changing our formatting. And he's been doing a great job of keeping that... keeping that together. If you're using user IDs, only 100 are allowed per request. That might explain a little bit there. Introduced page handler for routing optimization. Let's take a look at this. So what Ashley did was remove the route that I put in for search from latest changes and added a handler notification here. Now this is a feature of Razor Pages that I didn't want to show immediately, but it's good to show here. By default, you have this on get on post capability, and you can actually have on get and then the name of that handler, latest changes in this case, and it'll call this on get method instead of the other one, right? And it's really a nice feature so that you can have one page do multiple things, and I don't see it in the docs. Sure. Handler. No, it's not here. Interesting. But it go back to that. It makes it a heck of a lot easier for management, and now where I had two methods in one place, I'm sorry, really long get method, I can have it broken out into two appropriate methods and label it as needed. Now, why are you doing /search / latest changes? So the handler is latest changes, and it's after /search. So you're effectively passing, here's the name of the method that I want you to do. There was a 5 Things episode about CSS. Yes. Oh, since we are using SCSS, should we ignore CSS in gitignore? That's not a bad idea. So I removed the route and did it this way. There's a storm coming in here. Let me hold off on this one. I want to think a little bit more about this. It's not bad, but I want to think about that. Issue came up on stream when working on the search page where the pager would have a clickable next, last navigation buttons, even though there was only one page, due to the fact the pager tag helper uses current page to decide whether to show these. The default value on the property for the tag helper is set to 1, but it seems when getting search results, this value was defaulting to 0. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Thanks for this fix. Yeah, that's a good one. User admin page. So this is CMJ Chris Jones. Chris had a page that built the user role management page, and the thing going on was we need a user role page, and Chris had one and said, well, hey, maybe I can share it and we can use it. So, let's see. We're doing a 2-upper on these for the normalized name. Whatever. I'm okay on that. Changing the migrations. All right. Boy. All right, so now it looks like, what are we adding? Authors, editors, administrators. Okay. Identity hosting startup, role manager, user manager on, here we go, user admin index. So this is a page that Chris is bringing over that will allow us to show, here's the role, here's the name, here's the actions that we want to take on it. Add a user to roles, remove them from roles. Okay. And it's a pretty, right? I mean, this looks like a pretty standard list of roles, and here's the folks, and add them to roles, remove them from roles. And it's not bad. It's not bad at all from what I'm seeing, just looking through here. let's see how this works. I'm going to bring this down locally and give it a try. So we haven't worked with Chris before. So let's give this a try. Let's try merging in what Chris has locally in a separate branch, so we can give it a look, see what's going on here. Not Git, .NET Run. Let's see what happens in there. I have a bandana and Xbox cap, a Logitech bandana. Neat. All right. Here we go. All right. Let's go there. And now I've got a user admin page. So we've got to fix this so that only admins can come in here. Fine. Delete role, amend role. I'm not sure what amend role is supposed to do. But role name. Okay, current users, me. And then we can add users to roles. Alright. So if I say add that role to user, now administrators. Let's make them an author also. And an editor. Okay, so now if I log in, and I'll log in with my Twitter account. Edit to add claims to a role. Aha! Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Right, if I click create, role name, foo. Okay. It does a thing. I think we would want to... This does the things that at the very basics we need to do, right? Create, delete, add. The amend role, I'm not quite sure what that does. Add to role, remove from roles. I think we can do something user interface wise to make this a little bit easier without having all of these buttons. But it works. Looks like roles don't include claims yet. No, they don't. But this certainly works. It does its thing. I think there's an opportunity to do a little bit of user interface polishing here. Turn these maybe into links instead of buttons. And I think there's a way to make this a little bit easier. There's a widget there that'll make that easier somehow. Because I'm on a desktop screen here, and it feels a little clunky. It does what it needs to do. But for the first draft, I agree with Ashley. This is good stuff. I'm really happy to see this. Because we've struggled and we haven't had this really working for us. So I'm going to merge this. All right, and this is coming into dev. So this is great. Solves the user admin problem for us. And makes it easy to assign roles to folks. I expect we'll tune it a little over the next week or two. Great work. Good stuff from Chris. Thank you so much, Chris. If you're out there watching, whether it's the YouTube channel or I didn't see you in the chat room here, but thank you so much. What do we got here? You mean this type, so it's a screenshot of a social media post. Let's see what we got here. This one. What do we got? Ha! Anything's better than that, dear Lord. I mean, that's really easy to understand. But I think we can do better. The whole moving roles between lists. Yeah. Alright. It's not a bad idea having that type of user interface. But I think there's a little bit of drag and drop we can do between those lists now that makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun to work with. Yeah. But great stuff. Thank you so much. I think we'll look at the DTOs tomorrow morning, because this is a big change. There's a lot going on in here. 300 lines of code, 22 files, converting all these pages to DTOs. Erwin and Ashley put a lot of work into this. I want to make sure that we give it appropriate time to review, because there's a lot there, and yeah, I think it would be rude to just say looks good, merge it, because there's a lot there to be bringing in, and hopefully no breaking changes. Very good point. Yes. I'm going to do a git checkout, go back to my previous, and I am going to delete Chris's branch. Cool. All right, and we have Miguel's work out there on extensibility, and some folks have been working on that as well. So we did start on a first start wizard, this new data architecture. This piece right here is really where Ashley is hammering at, and it looks like there's really good change there that we're going to merge in. I thought I had an extensibility project. Thank you, The Real Shibe, for the follow. Given the limited number of claims roles in this project, a simple selection or checkboxes will probably look better. For right now, I think you're right. Yeah. Send new comment notification continues without consent. Oh, that's a problem. Implied consent for password reset. Create article from links, not creating article. Oh, that's a problem. Okay. Search feature. We have a search feature. Should we handle multi-word search, but the words can be in any order? For example, on the home page, we could not only find this by entering default home, but also home default. So this is from Andrew. Andrew, I think you've got a good point here. As well as that, do you think you should also enable search after key up trigger? Oh, like a type ahead. That's an interesting idea. This is a neat enhancement. I'm going to mark this as enhancement. I'm going to mark it as help wanted. I think you're onto something. And we can extend the search engine. Isn't it like an iSearch engine interface that we have? Wait, this is the Twitter follower list. I'm in the wrong project. Search engine. There it is. iArticle search engine. So we can actually implement another one of these, because right now, Articles DB search engine, all that it does, get articles for search query. Oh, you make me sad. Where's it? Go to implementation. There we go. All it does is say where topic contains, or content contains. So it's really a simple search engine. What's up? Not much. What's up with you? How's it going? I get frustrated at work when I look at a code review that I've spent X hours of and a lot of time on my life on. There you go. And get a looks good. Yeah. Let's have that discussion. Absolutely. So Evolution, we're looking at our core wiki project. This is a wiki that we've been building from scratch here on stream, and we're slowly adding features to it so it becomes a much more robust search mechanism. And Brave Cobra, that's one direction we can go. So Lucene is a search index. It's a search library, and other projects that you may be familiar with, including the NuGet website, nuget.org, use Lucene to index and search the content that's been submitted to it. There's all kinds of things you can do with Lucene to optimize how it finds and locates different articles, different bits of content that you might be searching for. It's very robust, it has a lot of different features to it, and it can be a little arcane for folks to work with. And it is super fast if you build it properly. Yes. That's a great idea. Another tool that I've used is RavenDB. RavenDB as a database searches extremely fast across your articles, your content that you put inside of it. And under the covers, actually, Raven uses Lucene, and it manages and does all of that indexing for you. And Brave Cobra is right. RavenDB is not free. That's the catch to it. For an open source project, it is free. But we're not going to be an open source project at the point that folks consume and deploy this. Talk to me, Gooseman. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. I've been running into some fun issues with trying to debug and use the Twitch development rig. I need to, and I even reached out and I was talking to some folks from Twitch about it, and literally the folks at Twitch said the exact same words to me when I asked them for help that are written in the documentation. No explanation, no further dive into, oh, well, here's how you use this. Oh, I understand you're having this problem. Here's how we can work around this. No, they literally read for me word for word exactly what's written in the documentation. Feels bad, man. So, I'm going to deal with that. You also have a community-free version. There is a community-free version, yes. There's a limit to the size of the RavenDB that you can use for that. And for the purposes of this, it might be interesting to show that. I don't have a problem showing RavenDB, but you will run into a size limit. You will not be able to grow beyond a certain point. SQL Server Express does have full text search in it. But yeah, we can look at that as well, sure. I think like two guys there know how it works. Yes, I think you're right. But I think we can show Lucene and we can hook that up to anything. Elasticsearch, Kibana, yes. I think there's all kinds of search capabilities that we can bring in here to kind of demonstrate different ways to implement, and it's really this method. Yeah, that we can implement this and actually take a look into it a little bit further. I'm trying to get into RavenDB, but too stuck in relational at the moment. Yeah, I bet. So, Elasticsearch is just Lucene over HTTP. Yeah, right? So maybe jumping right to Lucene is where we want to go. And requires Java. No, there is Elasticsearch bindings for .NET. Elasticsearch and .NET. Elasticsearch.net. Bazinga. And you're in. There it is. Enjoy. So I think this is great. I think you're onto something. We can extend the search engine. We can update the search engine. by implementing the, is it iSearch engine? iArticles search engine interface with different providers, different search engine algorithms, yeah. Let's look at this during a stream in the near future. I think this would be fun to do on a stream. Clark.io got accepted for a TwitchCon talk. Did he? We'll need a proper description of the features required here. That's fair. I'm curious about what Brian Clark got accepted for his TwitchCon. Do we know what it was? TwitchCon 2018. 2018 schedule. No. Talk about his light bulb project. Really? I mean, okay, if that's something folks are interested in, that's what he does on channel. I mean, okay. Hey. More power to him. We had submitted a talk. My concept when I think about an event like TwitchCon, I want to show you something at an event that is different for what I'm doing here on stream. So it's an opportunity for streamers to talk to each other about things, kind of inside baseball, things that aren't things that we talk about with our viewers, and that you might want to learn a little bit further about. So when I look at content that I submitted for TwitchCon, it was around, what's it like to do a developer stream? What does this mean? What is live coding all about? How do you set up? How do you engage? How do you grow live coding? And I think that, as something that you don't normally see on stream, is compelling for a conference. I wouldn't expect to go to TwitchCon and watch Ninja playing Fortnite, right? It's like, I do that every day anyway. I'm gonna see something different. So, but hey, conference organizers have different ideas, different things they want to do. If that's what they like, cool, good for them. So different feature. What do we want to do here? I'm going to break this out. You play Fortnite as a ninja every day? No. Ninja is the name of a famous streamer here on Twitch who has tens of thousands of people watch him play Fortnite. So, all right. So let's break this into some requirements here. Doc is beta. Oh, I'm a big fan of Dr. Disrespect. He's doing something right. And Doc, if you're out there, more power to you. Firm handshakes there, my friend. He has too many viewers. No, he doesn't. Let's see here. So let's do... How do we want to break this up into some requirements? Let's say... let's say requirements. Should support fuzzy text search, not just a simple like. I think the autocomplete is a separate requirement. Let's just start with that. autocomplete or IntelliSense is a separate... let's just put it as another one. Autocomplete in the... autocomplete for article titles in the search box. Which I think is a separate feature. I'm going to break that out. Breaking out autocomplete to a separate issue for tracking. Cool. All right. And this is Andrew Cahill. Autocomplete search for article titles. From @Andrew Cahill. And what was that previous issue that we were looking at? What was the number on that? That's a brief. That's kind of brief as a requirement. Let's fill it out. Let's add some more to it. This is, I'm going to mark this help wanted as an enhancement. The previous issue was 237. No, I don't want to edit that. I want to edit this. 1237. Let's add autocomplete functionality to the search box. Suggested by, let's get rid of this. Such that typing in the box does a look ahead completion based on article titles. Cool. I think that's better. Mark it as related to the search engine as Lucene offers it out of the box. This might be easy to complete with a Lucene implemented search engine. Sweet. All right. You know what? I think we're about... I don't want to go against the article text for the autocomplete because I'm searching... If I'm searching for the article text, what am I putting in the autocomplete box? Right? If you're searching across the article text, makes sense. If you're searching for an article title, autocomplete makes a lot more sense. Because, right, the article text is huge. So, I don't want to autocomplete that. But search across any field you want, that's another thing too. So, I think we're going to wrap it up there today. And, where'd it go? Let's call it here. We did a lot of cool things here today. I think we've, yeah, Lucene is based on scores. So, some good opportunity there to do some interesting things. We did a lot today. We really tinkered with that Twitter API. I think we've got it somewhere, but for some reason, Twitter isn't handling our add users to the list properly. And I want to give it a day for cooldowns to kick in. Maybe the API isn't behaving properly and see what happens there. We spent some time looking at some of our Core Wiki pull requests here today. We've got some really interesting ones around our data architecture that we're going to look at tomorrow morning because we had some refactoring done for DTOs on our various pages. And that will help pull us further away from using Entity Framework. Sprock in Cat, thanks so much for the cheer. That's 100 bits. We're going to match that and make that a donation over to our friends at Girl Develop It. Thanks so much for the cheer. So tomorrow we'll do some more of that refactoring for our data structure so that we can separate from Entity Framework. But for right now, I'm going to set up a raid for our friend Brady Gaster, who's talking about, who's going to be talking about Visual Studio Code and Azure. So let's send some folks over there. And in just a few seconds, we'll join Brady and see what's going on there. And Brady's not doing anything specific to .NET, if I remember correctly. He's going to be focused on just showing all the cool things you can do over there. And I hope everybody enjoys. I'll see you tomorrow here on stream. I've got to run. I've got some other stuff happening here. The boss is calling. This will be archived and over on YouTube later. Take care.